Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, here with my brief thoughts on The French Dispatch. This was directed by Wes Anderson, we all know who he is, and it stars pretty much all of his friends, or at least his regulars. This movie tells the story of, well, not just one story, but three stories. And it's all framed in the context of the final issue of a magazine called The French Dispatch, an American news magazine that is based out of Ennui, France. The editor of the magazine, Arthur Horowitz Jr., played by Bill Murray, has passed away, and his final wishes are that, well, basically the French Dispatch is going out of business. So this movie is essentially the final issue of the magazine, and it tells three stories. One about an imprisoned artist, one about a journalist revising a manifesto in the middle of a youth revolution, and a third about a food writer that gets involved in a police shootout and a poisoning. Yeah. When it comes to Wes Anderson, you know exactly what you're getting if you're going into one of his movies. All the shots are near perfect symmetry in terms of the cinematography, and everyone is about as dry as a vodka martini. We all know this. Of the few Wes Anderson movies that I have seen, I have genuinely loved. Fantastic Mr. Fox is excellent. It's one of my favorite animated movies. Moonrise Kingdom is excellent as well. I've seen that movie, honestly, too many times to mention. And Isle of Dogs is just as good as Fantastic Mr. Fox. So whenever a new Wes Anderson movie comes around, I'm always excited for it. And I really enjoyed The French Dispatch. However, I do have a couple problems with it. Firstly, though, the cast. The cast in this movie is outstanding. Like I said, it's basically Wes Anderson's favorite people in one movie, with some newcomers such as Timothée Chalamet, and seemingly the busiest actor in Hollywood right now, and Léa Seydoux, among many others. The cast, being as good as it is both a blessing and a curse, but I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Let's just say it's all very well acted. And my other big positive is the dialogue. This movie is very engaging. How the movie is formatted, telling three separate stories, it feels like you're literally reading one of those, offbeat news magazines. You know, before they complained about whichever president was in the office at the time. And I guess it's as good a place as any to go into the thing that I didn't like about this movie. It's that this format is a little weird. Now, I'm going to try... I'm not going to say that I hate it. Far from it. I actually enjoyed it at times. However, there was just some things where I was just sitting there like, what was the point? Because you have such an excellent cast at your disposal, there are some actors that just come and they go. And it's like, oh, hi, and then bye. Willem Dafoe and Edward Norton are both in this movie, and you can literally count the number of scenes they have on one hand and still have fingers to spare. These actors are These actors are confined to whatever story that they are involved with, and because it's essentially a cut and dry situation where when one story ends, the other story begins, and we never hear from those people again, I don't know, I wasn't sure how to feel about that. I feel like at times, and I think that's where I'm going with this, the problem with the movie is that it feels like it's almost trying a little too hard to be unique. Now, I'm not trying to say that all movies should be just the same exact thing. Far from that. I'm all for movies being unique or auteur-driven, but there's a big difference between being very generic but also of high quality and being very auteur-driven and unique and just being confusing. I felt like when it comes to this movie, there were three different pitches for this movie, and Wes was like, let's just do them all. And that's what happened. When weirdly, one of the more interesting characters in the movie is the editor, Arthur Howitzer Jr. He has this weird rule about no crying. He drinks this weird little shot with an oyster in it. I kid you not, it's like in the first scene in the movie, and he eats the oyster and drinks it. I'm not sure what drink to call that, but it's something that he drinks. And he literally shows up in like 2 or 3 scenes in the movie, when the entire time I was watching it, I was saying to myself, I know the editor is technically dead in this, but I'd like to know more about him. I could go on, but I think the thing that I wasn't crazy about in the movie is that I feel like it was trying to be so unique that it sacrificed a bit of story beats. That being said, though, this movie is of very high quality. The cinematography is beautiful, the score is great as well, all the performances are great, and the dialogue is really fun. I'm going to give this a great rating. I do have problems with it. I'm not sure if this is going to be my favorite Wes Anderson movie. However, I walked out of there saying to myself, that was actually quite good. I'm not sure if this will make my top 10 of the year. I think it'll easily make the honorable mentions. But that is all from me. Thank you so much as always for watching. I want to apologize for my lack of videos. I've been on vacation from my job, and so I guess I just kind of was like, I'm being paid to take time off, so I think I'm just going to stop editing. But trust me, I've got the videos promised. They're all ready. They're all ready to be edited. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam. I'll see you in the next one.